Members of Congress have been quick to react to news from across the country that one of their own, California Senator Alex Padilla, was forcibly removed from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's press conference this afternoon. Democrats pointed the blame at the Trump administration, while Republicans called out the senator. And it all came as the House voted to cancel nearly $10 billion of foreign aid and public media funding. Our Lisa Desjardins has been following it all from Capitol Hill, and she joins me now. So, Lisa, let's start with Senator Padilla. Tell us about the reaction among lawmakers you've been talking to after that incident and his handling by federal officials there.
Amna, as I speak to you now, these events didn't happen that long ago. The reaction on Capitol Hill was swift, especially from Democrats. They were outraged and concerned that what they saw and what happened to Senator Padilla is something that they think could grow. They saw a danger here, and they took their concerns across the Capitol, outside of the steps of the Capitol themselves. Now, on the steps of the Capitol, in this impromptu news conference that gathered more and more lawmakers as time went on, Democratic members said they want an investigation of what happened here. Then later on, another impromptu event, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, you see, marched across the Capitol to the office of Senate Republican leader and the leader of the Senate, John Thune. There they were inside meeting with Thune's staff. I was there for that meeting where one by one they expressed concerns, in fact, saying later on that they believe Senator Padilla was assaulted.
Anyone that's reasonable and sees the video will understand that Senator Padilla was not aggressive. He held his hands up and he identified himself, and all he wanted to do was make a statement or ask a question, and he got thrown into the ground and cuffed.
Democrats say this behavior is something that they think could expand, that it shows that the Department of Homeland Security, in their opinion, is out of line with the law. When I asked who they think should be charged with an assault, if they see an assault here, they didn't answer that directly, but they think that Noem herself and the agency are responsible here.
So, Lisa, Democrats clearly worried about the use of force. What about Republicans? What are you hearing from Republican leaders on this?
It's a complete 180. They think that Senator Padilla was inappropriate in how he interrupted the news conference, that he was shouting, that it was behavior unbecoming a senator or any U.S. lawmaker. And when the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was asked about this as this was all unfolding, and he did say that he thinks that Senator Padilla was in the wrong.
I think there needs to be a message sent by the body as a whole that that is not what we are going to do. That's not how we're going to act. We're not going to have branches fighting physically and having senators charging cabinet secretaries. We got to do better, and I hope that we will.
Now, the video doesn't indicate, I think, that the senator was charging the cabinet secretary so much as he clearly was trying to ask a question, and there was an interaction between him and ICE agents. But what Speaker Johnson was saying there is that the senator was in the wrong, and he opened the idea that perhaps the Senate needs to consider a censure. Now, we're waiting for Senate leader John Thune to have a statement himself. Obviously, this is a temperature rise here at the Capitol, as we have also seen around the country.
Lisa, let's turn now to that House vote. I know you were tracking to claw back funding for foreign aid and also for public media. There was a dramatic back and forth, but it did ultimately pass. Tell us what happened.
What a dramatic vote. Republicans were losing this vote in the House chamber, and I sat there and I watched as Speaker Johnson turned around 2 Republican votes so that they were able to put through this package of immediate budget cuts in the House. Let's look at exactly what's on the table in these budget cuts. A reminder, it's $9.4 billion, a small sliver of the federal budget, but that would include mostly foreign aid money. Among that, $400 million for HIV prevention and treatment around the world. In addition, it would eliminate public broadcasting funding for the next 2 years, and 15% cut for PBS, as well as a 1% cut for NPR. Now, PBS did have a response in a statement about what these cuts would mean here. The statement reads, if these are finalized by the Senate, it will have a devastating effect on PBS and local member stations, particularly in smaller and rural stations. And that was the concern of those Republicans who voted no, Amna. I am told that one who switched his vote, Don Bacon, switched his vote because he was guaranteed by House leadership that this PBS money would be restored in the fall. There are many who are skeptic that that will actually happen.
And Lisa, what are the expectations for the bill in the Senate?
That's right. This is going to be a battle in the Senate. It is possible that these cuts are blocked there. There is concern for PBS and also that HAV money there as well. We will watch it closely.
Lisa Desjardins on Capitol Hill for us tonight. Lisa, thank you.
You're welcome.